My name's Karam Singh. I'm 26 years old, from Derby. My breaking name is B Boy Kid Karam, and I represent the UK for breaking globally. You get given a name by your crew, your mentors, your elders, and for me, I started breaking when I was really young, probably 7 or 8 years old. I was also doing it with my best friend, whose name's Kelvin, and we became the kids. It was Kid Kelvin and Kid Karam, and we became a pair, and it kind of just stuck this whole time. I remember seeing somebody in a Justin Timberlake music video head spinning in the back, and I just made a passive joke to my family one day, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do that, and we all kind of laughed about it. But then a few weeks later, which is where my biggest inspiration comes from, was my first ever crew, which is Trinity Warriors, based in Derby here too. I remember initially seeing that head spin, or whatever it was on that music video, and I just asked them, I said, can I get on stage and have a go? I had no idea what I was doing at all. Like, honestly, I didn't have a clue what breaking was, I didn't know a move, but they said yeah. I was a young kid, so I just got on stage, I went on my head and just tried to turn. I probably made like a bit of a fool out of myself in front of all those people, but I loved it, I was passionate about it, and from there I just tried to pick up as much as I could. Some of the most challenging moves I've learned come from air power, which are things like air flares, 1990s. It's a lot of sort of rotation stuff that requires a lot of upper body and core strength, where you're mainly upside down. For me personally, I'm more of a style person, I'm more of a ground power person. I'd like to say that I'm all-rounded in all areas, but I'd say that was my biggest struggle, just because some people learn those moves first in other countries, whereas here we learn the opposite first. So it's kind of like you're trying to learn the harder moves the older you get, and it's not as easy the older you get to just sort of spring into things. And I overcame it by simply just kind of watching videos. I used to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials. I used to have DVDs of old school breakers, so I remember sort of watching them, and then I found a system for myself to break things down into threes, so a beginning, a middle and an end, and I would break each part of that move down, and then each part of what I was struggling in that move down, and I would have the same system for all. So I'd master the beginning with a beginning, middle and end, I'd master the middle with a beginning, middle and end, and I'd master the end with a beginning, middle of an end, and then I'd put it together and it worked for me.
All right, the winner of the UK B Boy Championships 2019 is Karam!
Winning B Boy Champs, it was one of the biggest events that we'd ever had in breaking. I was the youngest person to ever step on the stage in 2008, but I did it with my crew, and I actually came out a backpack, and it's like a really iconic moment, an iconic video that everybody remembers. Doing it for the first time in 2017 as a solo, I got to the finals and lost in the finals, but then I did it again in 2019 and I got the win, and that for me was like a full circle moment, because I said I would do it and then I did it, so that was probably the most memorable one.
I tell them that the fear going broke, one pain that you gotta go through to die involved.
Community and collaboration plays a massive part in breaking in general, especially in my journey. Coming from Derby, firstly, is my community. It's such a small place where everybody kind of knows everybody, but then if you look at breaking, community is absolutely everything. You know, we connect with people all around the world. Some of our best friends are from all different corners of the globe, and we collaborate with each other through social media, through these events. We travel, we connect, and it's how you grow. Being a breaker has really massively sort of influenced the clothes I wear. For example, my fashion sense, it's provided me with a level of professionalism. Breaking has also opened up a lot of doors for me. I've been able to play a lead role in a Sky original movie. I've been able to model, I've been able to work with creative people, and I've been able to travel, and I have great people skills, which I think is really essential, so I'm really grateful for breaking. My signature move is definitely a head spin. More specifically, a head spin drill. It's a move which is of course, it's in the name. You kind of get on your head and you turn, but a head spin drill is sort of in a pencil shape where you kind of lock your back and your hips as if you're reaching the point of a deadlift almost. And the rest of your body is quite straight. It's really fast, it's really powerful, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. I'm just really known for having a really good version of that, and also not having a major bold spot from doing it. So that's definitely my signature move. The Nike Jams are amazing. I actually have them on now. This one's my favorite colorway personally. Sometimes when you break, you feel a little bit flimsy. It's really easy to sometimes burn through materials. Sometimes you're not sure if something's too heavy or too light. They're sort of flat enough to make sure that you don't feel like you're unbalanced. Just if you look at like some of the sort of things on, like for example, the upside down tick, when you're upside down, I still look good.
What do you see for the future of breaking?
I see the future of breaking looking so bright. I think with it being in the Olympics and being a part of the Olympic journey, doing most of the major qualifiers, the impact that breaking has had on the general people watching it is absolutely insane. I always say that Paris is going to be fireworks. I think it's going to absolutely explode, and I think so many people, if not interested in it, are going to be intrigued by it, and I just think it's going to have such a positive impact. I think already we're reaching a new demographic where people that might have not been involved or know what breaking is now do. I can speak to my grandma about breaking, I can speak to the general public about breaking, and everybody knows what it is. Oh, that's the new sport, and it's really a great conversation that we're having around breaking at the moment. So the future is really going in the right direction. I think the youngsters and the new gen that are coming into what breaking is now are absolutely blessed for the opportunities, but there's going to be so many opportunities, there's so much work around it, and like I said, I think the Olympics provided us with a massive definition, so going forwards we're not facing the same barriers that we did before, and I think breaking is just going to thrive from here. For me personally, I have a lot of unfinished business in the cultural scene, which took some sort of reflection, so I can't wait to get back into the cultural events. There's been a lot of events over the years where I've been a semi-finalist, finalist, second place, third place, and I want to really go on to take some wins. Other than that, I'll be just helping the next generation and to push this country to another level.